We navigate multiple apps, answer messages, and consume media simultaneously, and we feel totally functional doing it all. But underneath that feeling of competence, our basic capacity to hold a thought is quietly collapsing. Look at this graph tracking our sustained focus over the last 2 decades. Dr. Gloria Mark's research reveals the average human attention span on a digital screen has dropped from 2.5 minutes down to just 47 seconds. And when that focus breaks, say a notification pulls you away, it takes an average of 23 minutes and 15 seconds to fully recover. This collapse is driven by the exact environment we stare at every day. You've likely seen this vertical layout, a podcast playing up top, accompanied by a car race or an endless runner game down below. Researchers call this sludge content. When we constantly bombard ourselves with these hyper-stimulating split-screen micronarratives, our brain's dopamine receptors begin to downregulate. We require faster, more chaotic inputs just to feel normal, which destroys our tolerance for low-stimulation tasks, like reading a book or studying. We have willingly trapped ourselves in an ecosystem of overstimulation. It systematically dismantles our cognitive endurance, and because we still feel like we're successfully processing information, we don't even realize the damage is happening. In 2024, a team of researchers led by Yan et al. Wanted to measure exactly what this constant scrolling was doing to our neurology, so they ran an electroencephalogram, or EEG, study on heavy consumers of short-form video. The initial results presented a strange paradox. When given a series of cognitive tests, the heavy video users performed perfectly. Their reaction times and accuracy matched the baseline control group entirely. Outwardly, the test subjects seemed completely, perfectly fine. But the brain scans told a different story. To achieve those normal test scores, the heavy users were recruiting significantly fewer neural resources. They were operating right on the edge of total mental exhaustion. This diagram of a healthy brain highlights the prefrontal cortex, showing strong rhythmic sine waves representing frontal theta waves. These brainwaves filter out competing distractions and sustain focus. But in heavy short-form users, these theta waves drop off dramatically into a weak, erratic frequency. In clinical terms, brain rot describes a measurable loss of executive control. You might look fine on the outside, but your neural architecture is eroding, leaving you highly vulnerable to sudden distractibility and impulsivity. Social media algorithms recognize this weakened state. To keep you engaged as your focus slips, they actively funnel you toward that split-screen sludge content we mentioned earlier. The kinetic motion playing at the bottom of the screen acts as a visual pacifier. Its entire mechanical purpose is to artificially inflate the time you spend watching the video. It achieves this by hacking an evolutionary survival mechanism called the orienting reflex, the part of your brain designed to track sudden peripheral movement. By constantly triggering this reflex, the video prevents your gaze from wandering. Even if you are completely bored by the main narrative up top, the constant peripheral motion keeps you tethered to the screen. We can see the specific cognitive damage using this visual model. Recent trials found that consuming sludge content leaves your short-term working memory, the green battery, completely intact. However, the neural endurance required to maintain a continuous thread of attention rapidly plummets to zero. Sludge content is an engineered precision weapon. It dismantles our capacity for deep, sustained thought, while leaving us with just enough working memory to feel perfectly competent. The good news is that your brain is incredibly adaptable, and this neurological degradation is not permanent. A 2025 randomized controlled trial published in the journal PNAS Nexus set out to find exactly how long it takes to recover from algorithmic overstimulation. Researchers used a digital blocking app to completely sever mobile internet connectivity on participants' smartphones for exactly 14 days. They downgraded these devices back to basic calling and texting tools. This chart shows the immediate behavioral shift. The average daily online time plummeted by nearly half, dropping from 314 minutes down to 161 minutes. Once freed from the constant pull of the feed, objective sustained attention surged. This brief period of digital friction restored focus so effectively that it reversed the equivalent of 10 years of age-related cognitive decline. The secondary benefits cascaded from there. Participants experienced massive improvements in subjective well-being, and their depressive symptoms dropped at a rate rivaling formal cognitive behavioral therapy. Human neuroplasticity proves highly responsive to these shifts. Researchers noted that even the participants who struggled to follow the protocol perfectly still walked away with a significant increase in cognitive function. Your brain's ability to rebuild itself is stronger than the architecture of any algorithm. A simple 14-day detox from the vertical feed is the key to reclaiming your executive control.